Hey, what's up? It's Coach coming at you, and I'm going to demonstrate everything that you just learned, everything we just talked about in that macro level. So this is a sedentary 150-pound person who's working out 3 times a week, following our guidelines from level 1, those calories. We determined from that level that they should be consuming between 1,430 calories all the way up to 1,900 calories. And we're going to split the difference. We're going to go somewhere in the middle. Because of that, we need a solid number for many of these. So we're going to go 1665, and that's just because it's nice and clean, halfway in between those two numbers. So we had our range. Now we're going to use this number to help calculate what those macronutrients, give us an idea of what those grams should be. We know from our previous lesson that protein has 4 calories per gram. We know that fat has 9 calories per gram. We know that carbs have 4 calories per gram. That's going to be important because we're going to use that to help calculate our number of calories and therefore our percentage of calories out of the diet, figuring out that ratio. Now we mentioned before how our protein, we're going to use a percent of the body weight. So this one's going to look a little bit different from the others. So we also know from our previous video, we need to be shooting for no less than 1 gram per pound of body weight. And what the literature shows is that most ideal is going to be probably between 1.1 grams and 1.3 grams per pound of body weight. We have a 150-pound person, so we take 150 pounds for the minimum, times 1 gram, that's going to be 150 grams of protein. Nice and simple. But for this range here, 150 pounds times 1.1, we're looking at 165 grams of protein all the way up to 150 pounds times 1.3, 195 grams. So this is ultimately our range that we're shooting for, 165 to 195, somewhere right in the middle. All right? So we've actually got, I put all of those right here for the calculations. We actually split the difference. We went right in the middle where we're actually going for 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. But going forward, we've got our minimum here, 150 grams times 4 calories means that we're going to be taking in 600 calories just from protein. If we are looking for the lower range, 165 grams times 4 calories, we're looking at 660. If we shoot for the higher range, we're getting 780 calories from our protein alone. So really important to realize that 780 calories or so out of a 1,665 calorie diet, you're still looking at somewhere about 42% of your diet. So it's not astronomically high. And in fact, like I said, we're going for 1.2, which is going to be closer to 180 grams of protein. That comes out to 40% of our diet. And we get that number from 180 divided by 1665. Right? Total calories that we're consuming, and this is the calories that we are, well, 100, whoops, I did that wrong, 180 grams times 4, this number right here, which is going to be between those two, that's going to be 720 if my math serves me correct. So that's what we're looking at, 720 calories divided by 1665 should get us 40%, or really close. All right, so protein, moving it on to fat, that is the next step to figure out because it is essential. We have a base minimum that we should be shooting for, and we have a range based upon our calories that we're consuming. Our base minimum is 0.25 grams per pound of body weight. We figured that out right here, 150 grams times, or 150 pounds times 0.25 is 37.5 grams. I decided since we want to shoot for a range, 15 to 25%, we went for 20%. You can see that right here, we got 20%, boom. 1665 times 20%, the amount of calories we're looking to come from fat is 330 calories coming from fat. In order to calculate the grams the fat is going to be, we have to take that exact number divided by 9, so 333 divided by 9 is going to be 37 grams. 37 grams is less than our base minimum, which means that is the number we're going for. So we got 37.5 grams. We're now going to cross that out because we don't want that. It's too low. So we got 37.5 times 9 calories is 337 0.5 calories. So we now have our grams of fat, 37.5. We have our grams of protein, 180 grams. We're getting about 720 calories from protein. We are now getting 337 calories from fat. If you want to calculate the percentage that that's going to be, that's 337.5 divided by 1665, just over 20%. All right, if you remember, we've got our carbs. Our carbs is everything left over because we want to make sure we're still hitting level 1 target calories. Our calorie target is 1665. So we start with that. We do have a base minimum, 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. That shouldn't be a problem for anybody kind of hitting these ratios. So 1665, we are going to minus the protein and minus the calories from the protein and minus the calories from the fat. I went off of the 165. So if, let's say we're actually doing, instead of that, let's say we're going for base minimum, 165 to keep this in line. 165 is, 660. So 1665 minus 660 minus the 337.5 calories here that we calculated. That means that 667.5 calories are coming from carbohydrates. In order to calculate the number of grams, you have to divide the number of calories by how many calories is in 1 gram of carbs. So 667 divided by 4 is 166.9 grams. So 166 grams of carbohydrates, that comes out to 40% of your total daily caloric intake. And that is an example of a 150-pound person who is sedentary, does not do much during the day, but still works out 3 times a week, can calculate a higher protein diet that is going to help maintain muscle, potentially build muscle if they're just starting working out, keep them fuller longer, keep them happier longer, keep them less fatigued longer, and more successful in their diet when they're training and cutting. This is Coach coming from Underground Fitness. Thank you for checking this out.